Welcome. We have a great informational topic for you today, and we're going to discuss building your child's self-esteem through photography. My name's Allison Tilton, and I'm a family law attorney and owner of the Grayville Group. And joined with me today, I have Traci Williams, who's a parenting coach and owner of A Loving Way to Parent, and Violet Bowlan, who's a photographer and owner of Violet June Photography. Thank you both for being with me today to discuss this really important topic. So the first question I'd like to pose to you is, how does photography build self-esteem in children and family, and why is this so important? Violet, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, I can start on that, and thanks for asking that question. Photography in itself is a form of expression, and so when you have families come in and play and you're photographing them, each family member is allowed to express who they are and their individuality. And so that in itself can help boost self-esteem. Beyond that, though, as you're printing these images or having the digital images available, having those on display in your home, that helps create something that shows those family members that they're valued, that they belong there, because they're seeing themselves a part of basically the four structures of the wall that's there. So you're creating these memories with the families. The sessions themselves, they're shared bonding times. Anything that the families might go through to prepare for the session, during the session, and then enjoying these images afterward, all create times for these families to enjoy their experience together. Traci, is there anything you want to add on to that in terms of as we're displaying these images in the home and the parents are seeing them and the kids are seeing them, what that might do for the families?
Yeah, I love that idea. We've done that always for our kids, and my parents did it as well. And imagine, I mean, we forget a lot of things along the way. Is if we didn't see any pictures of us growing up and then we were adults, we'd go back and go, oh, I remember that. Or, wow, I don't even remember that happening. But if we have these pictures around the house, if we have things where the kids get to see what they've looked like along the way, and they get to see, you know, what it was like before, say, child number 3, and the other 2 had certain experiences, it just brings like a team and a unit feel. Like Violet was saying, it makes everybody feel like they belong. And it really just creates a solidity in the memories and the happy things. When you put those pictures up, you're remembering the fun things you've done together. And sometimes families are going through hard times, but as you're going around the house, if you're sitting in the living room, if you're going up the stairs, if you're in a bedroom and there's pictures there, it's a constant reinforcement that even in hard times, you guys have fun times. That even when you don't like each other sometimes, you are still a family unit. You have history. You've been together for a long time. And I just think that is so, so important to communicate to kids in so many different ways, the visual, the verbal, all these different ways to remember. And then plus, like, we have family pictures from grandparents and distant relatives, the black and white pictures on our walls, so that the kids see the longevity of our family and just that how things have changed. I just think it's so good to give them roots. It's so important to have roots, and family is where those roots grow. So when you have pictures, it's like having a tree that has really stable roots that go far down into history, and that's just really nice. Really
Awesome.
I love the way that you both just described that, right? That this can create a family bonding experience for them, and that they can remember all of that. Yeah, that's pretty incredible. What can be captured in a still photo. To follow up on this, are there any practical ideas that you can give for families in trying to build some self-esteem through photography?
Yeah, so Traci had touched on it, the bonding experiences that you can have with the families. If you have a printed album, you're able to sit down on a couch and just say, hey, let's look at this. How many of you guys, when you were growing up, might have brought over a significant other and the parents say, let me pull out this album and show you? Like, there's all kinds of ways that you guys can bond and enjoy. And I love to tell people that printing your portraits is a way to give that daily boost of joy, because as Traci mentioned, when you're in the hustle and bustle of life and you're running throughout your house and you're doing whatever, it can get crazy and chaotic. But if you have a family image up on display, you pass by that, and it's almost like a subconscious thing to just give you something to just fill your bucket and feel really great about what's going on. So those are some ways. This staircase is a great way to just keep building your portraits throughout and have those on display. Personally, in my own experience, having my little children, I've been able to see how their verbal skills have been taught through the staircase. We have ours on display in the staircase, and at the top, my children would have anticipation because they knew who they would see as they're going down the staircase. And so they would verbally be saying out family members as they're getting ready to walk down the stairs. What better way to teach real life verbal skills as you're enjoying the artwork that is of your family on display? So those are some ideas. There's a cool idea that I love. I love to basically recap my kids' year. So every year that they are finishing a new year, as I'm getting prepared for the party and planning for the next year, I like to go through the images of that year and say, okay, what were the best highlights of their year? Kind of like a highlight reel, essentially. And I've done this a few different ways each year. And one year, what I did as a party entertainment was I printed them out and I attached them to balloons. And so it became like a decoration for the party or a party favor. But what happened was everybody's walking around and enjoying these images during the party. And so it became a talking point, a conversational piece. And additionally, some of the family members would ask and say, I want to take this one home. Can I have it? So they were able to just take it away with them. And the ones that remain, my children go through those still to this day and rotate through the images so they're able to reminisce on that year that they had. Another cool idea that I've loved to do is same concept, go through the pictures of that year, but now I'm putting it on a poster frame. And so it's almost like here's the random images on a frame, it has the year that states that child's year. And to this day, my kids will sit and just stare at them and say, oh, that's when I learned how to toilet train, or that's when I learned how to do this. And it's just those fun memories. These aren't the stylized formal portraits. These are more those candid portraits that you might have on your phone. And I'm just going through and I'm pulling them out. And it's also allowing me to connect with my other family members as I'm doing this, because I'm saying, hey, what's on your phone? Give me the images so that I can collect these and put these together. But it's allowing me that exercise to gather everything and put it together and now have it on display for my kids. So
that's so awesome. Those are awesome ideas. Gosh, now I need to go back and revisit my own home and see how I can add a little bit more in there so that my kids can benefit from it. Traci, do you have anything to add?
Yes, I love that balloon idea. And if you wanted to even talk to your kids, it'd be very interesting because we can pick out the pictures that we think are the most impactful, but to find out what are the pictures that you want displayed, because we're really celebrating. That's such a great way to celebrate a child's full year. Like all year long, these things have happened. What are your highlights? What do you want on the balloons? And being able to see from their perspective what was most meaningful, because that's going to help you plan for your next year on what things you want to repeat. The other thing is, I remember growing up, my aunt had all of their kids. We had 5 kids, and I think they had 7. And they had all of their kids' school pictures up on the wall. My mom did the same thing, all of our school pictures. And I've done the exact same thing. So you're passing on traditions. I've done that with my kids. And so if I just pull down the one that has their senior pictures, underneath is their junior picture, their sophomore picture, like all the way down to kindergarten. And it's all right there. And sometimes we do take the time to sit there and just open them up and look through and go, wow, look at how much you've changed every year. It's right there. And now everything is so digital. If you can print things and make them more tangible, it's like you can read a book online or you can read a book with your hands, holding it in your hands. That's with pictures too. And really getting what were the favorites of your kids and what were your favorites? I just think all of those are great ideas. They bring the family together. And that's what you're looking for, is how do we bring the family together and create those roots?
Well, I'll just say, I just got like goosebumps thinking about that experience, right? For your kids, being able to go back and see, right? Like, what was kindergarten like? And then what was 4th grade like? And what were my awkward years like? And now I'm a I'm a high school senior. That's awesome. So great. So thank you both so much for sharing such amazing tips with us today. I'm looking at photography totally different than I ever did before. And I hope that you are all looking at the photography differently too. If you'd like to find additional resources, please visit us at TemeculaValleyFamilyResourceNetwork.com. You can reach Traci Williams at alovingway.com or Violet Bowlan at violetjunephoto.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you.